And here we go on one of the more deadly tracks here on the one. So Mom, I died quickly. I blew that badly. I totally forgot about the chicane. Oh, Justin. I don't know what's happened to my driving tonight, but I'm doing horribly. I'm really gonna have to look at this controller. Yes, remember this again. That time. Welcome, Monty, if that's you. I can't really see who's on, but as you can see, or if you can see, I'm doing quite horribly, which is something that I'm not going to brag about today. Wasn't for me. Alright. Well, hopefully you've been doing well, Mr. Monte. It's nice to hear from you. As you can probably tell, being in last place, yeah, but I forgot they were so shaking right at the start of the race. Yes, and you are one of the people that are missed, sir. You know, that I can truly and honestly say. You are most welcome. You know, we had just like most of us, you know, can honestly say, you know, we had some great, fabulous, brilliant races in throughout the history of this car of the week. Haven't heard from Brad too much. I'm not sure what's going on with him. Hopefully he's alright. Oh, there we go. Thankfully that was a ghost. How I managed to get by all those people. There must have been some sort of major accident. Yeah, and especially since Google Plus has died, it's even harder to try and keep a track of them. I've looked on multiple social media avenues, and I honestly don't know where he went. I'm hoping he's okay, you know, but you know, hoping and knowing are two different things. Be saying hi to the boys for ya. Well, thank you very much for saying so. You know, I try to be quick if I can actually keep it on the road. Asher says hello back so far. You know, I'm doing in the FIA races that I'm doing fairly well. You know, I'm in one of the events. I am ranked number 44 in Canada now. Which is not too bad considering I'm still using a controller and an automatic transmission still. Someday I'll break down and get a wheel. Rob on drums. Vic says hello. Rob on drums says get in here. Yeah, you were most definitely missed, sir. Someday, but you know, it's a point of pride and whatnot to be able to take on some of these stupidly fast people with a controller and an AT. But yeah, it's going to be, you know, I'd love to have a good setup, but they can be pricey. I will do so. Definitely. I'll type that in before starting the race now. Do 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 do. Looks like everybody's in, and away we go. St. Croix. There's another track that I'm not good at. Tell my mom I died quickly. Whoa. Okay, apparently there was a hang up right from the get-go. Welcome, by the way, Nismo. I forgot to mention that to all the boys that I was streaming. I'm testing it out, to be honest. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die several times. Oh. Beep. Alright, now, if I can actually remember how this track goes, I might be able to catch up to the boys, but no. Let this one go by. I don't... Oh, it is, you know, it is a nightmare, especially when you don't have it memorized. Which is usually what helps me be decently quick on certain tracks, because I've got all the turns and whatnot memorized, but running races here is few and far between, and I don't believe that any of the events have been here, so it's given me even less of a chance to run it, let alone memorize it. Another truck that I find that's a nightmare for me personally are the Tokyo City trucks, which even the FIA events, you know, run, and it's like I usually pass those by just so I can keep my ratings, both SR and DR. Oh, here we go. I forgot about that turn again. Thankfully, there's no real, I haven't put on the damage settings, otherwise I'd be limping home. Oh, yeah, yes, that's true, Nathan, you know, there's A, B, and C on this, if I remember correctly. And of course, in an LMP1 race car, Eep, I'm just horrible. Oh, brakes. Confusing, yes. Again, it's another nightmare for me personally. And depending on your driver rating, the Tokyo, any of the variants of the expressway are just, they're SR especially and DR killers. Some people are very good at it, and then of course you get the casual players that think they're good and just kill everybody else's chances. So I usually avoid them like the plague. Like I am right now. That turn always gets me. Thankfully, one of the issues about the back markers has been resolved. I don't know if you've actually had a chance to keep track. But they've, especially in the FIA races, they've added ghosting. So especially on lapped players, which does happen, or even the daily races, they will ghost the car, permanently ghost somebody that's been lapped, so they can't interfere. Which is, a blessing in its own. Oh, most definitely a good call. Because, whatchamacallit, there was complaints, especially on GT Planet, where drivers on particular teams were doing it deliberately. One would, take a hit for the team, let's say, be last, or be a back marker, and just take everybody out as people are trying to pass him or her, and it wasn't very fair. So when they finally started ghosting the back markers and the lap cars, it was like a big, huge benefit, let alone saving a headache. I'll vote for that. It's one of my favorite courses. I was lucky enough to jump on GT Sport right from the open beta and Autodrome Lego Maggiore, or Lake Maggiore GP, is one of my favorite tracks in the game by far. It's one of my most favorite PD created tracks of all time, to be honest, and that's a good list of what they've made just on their own. But yeah, I adore this track. Let's bring this up to 4. Hopefully, considering this is my most favorite track in the game, I should, at least keep it on said track. Against most normal people, most definitely. But we do have Mr. Victory Rain in the house. And even though he started much later than I did, he's still an alien quick. And doing fairly well in the FIA overseas, as far as I know. Everybody's in, and here we go. Most definitely. But, over in Europe, that's where the majority of the good competition is from. And Nathan has picked himself up a wheel, so he's gotten much, he was always quick. Nismo Nate, but he's definitely getting quicker as he gets more and more comfy. Speaking of Vic, I'll let him go by. That's him just there. Asher has improved by leaps and bounds as well. the name Asher. He used to be Bilbo Stig in the early days, in his early days of Car of the Week on GT6. He's also known as Dragon on GT Planet. Come on. Come on, Justin. You know this track. Whoa, sorry. I really gotta get another controller. Sorry, Rob. Oh, yeah, this one's starting to feel big time. I don't know if you can actually tell, but this one, where I steer with the sticks, and it's pulling. Yeah, I'm just gonna back out and watch the race instead of ruining somebody else's. Oh, here we go. At least this way you can see what everybody else's cars look like. Up at the front. Vic seems to be in the lead again. That's his. Followed by a new random MLS. Yep, Porsche 919 is the car of the week this week. Racer who announced it was mentioning the 24-hour of Le Mans being upcoming this weekend, so he decided to highlight one of the cars. Oh, Nathan, that was a hell of a guy. Probably by accident. And even though I'm a big fan of the Porsche, of any Porsche, you know, for LMP1 and GT Sport, I'm a huge fan of the Audi, the R18. And I've got the majority of the kilometers in LMP1 in the Audi so far. I've raced that thing to death. Another random in the Marlboro. Oh, that's a nice livery. Oh, they're fantastic. Some of them are very, very tricky, but some of them are just a dream to drive, including the Audi. Let's bring it to Le Mans. Bump it up to 5 and put on, just for a laugh, I'll put on some fuel. Let's do 6 and 6. This is something that we never do. What time is it getting to be? Well, getting close to midnight now. This will be one of the last races. Another person that, you know, that's doing fairly well, ex car of the week person, Totally Lit, if you remember him, he's doing very, very well for himself, especially in the FIA racing. As far as I know, she's out doing coffee. Yeah, most definitely. He's quick, and now he seems to be even quicker. You know, he hasn't popped by Car of the Week since we started back up, and admittedly we started back late for GT Sport. Alrighty, well, for something completely different, some fuel and tire wear in Car of the Week. Especially, you know, at Le Mans, this could be interesting. Actually decent start this time, but considering I was on pole, I don't really have an excuse for that now, eh? Alright, there's my marker. Keep an eye out for my fuel, considering it didn't start with full load. But the Porsches are surprisingly fuel efficient compared to, you know, some other. If you ever had the chance, the GT Sport also has the Toyota TS050, and that is by far the most fuel efficient LMP1 I've driven in the game. It's not the quickest, mind you, but what it lacks in top end speed, it certainly makes up for in fuel efficiency. And considering that's factored in the majority of the FIA racing, it's definitely something to keep in mind. Oh, we'll definitely get another full lap out of this. Like, it's not slow, don't get me wrong, Monty, you know, but, you know, some of the, compared to the Porsche or the Audi, it is definitely slower, but, you know, it kicks everybody's ass in fuel efficiency. 1.2 laps. Okay, we're laughing. Alright, so 2.5 seconds ahead. Hopefully I can keep that on the go. That was not intended. Flag rules still apply, yes, most definitely. I've got them set up, but I don't have penalties as we're, as you know, car of the week is still a relaxed club, but had I penalties on, I'm sure I would have picked up at least half a second on that one, if not a full second. But yes, flag rules definitely apply. And to be perfectly honest, I can't remember if you can shut them off or not. Oh, AGS. Oh, yes, any given Sunday. Sorry. Yes. My apologies. No, we haven't implemented that yet, but we have talked about it. That was, I personally enjoyed the any given Sunday rule. It made, oh Justin, that was horrible. It made things more interesting. Okay, let's slow this down. Yes. Ooh. Now I'm pretty sure somebody had pitted in the first lap, so depending on who that was, Vic and Nathan went by. They actually calculated risk on it, on that. And gone. Reset Nathan every time you tried to pet, really? That's not good. Sure if Racer knows about that, or is comfy with the braking points here. He's gotten fairly quick too. But mind you, I don't think he races as much as some of us. one thing I must admit though is Racer's internet connection seems to have improved, because he used to lag quite badly on GT6. Oh, that was horrible. The other thing I love about GT Sport is the radar option that you can see just below the speedo. Yeah, he was quite famous for it, at least in my head, for having, Justin, what are you doing, buddy? You know that corner like the back of your hand. But yes, he had particularly bad connections all throughout, and you know, thankfully it's improved. Vic is in the pits right now. I don't know how accurate his figured like his gamble paid off. He must have set his fuel consumption lower to make the extra lap. By 7 seconds-ish. Did he actually forget that he put the... Yeah, here on GT Sport you can actually cut back your power so you can save on fuel. Which can and does help, but but is at the hindrance of because there are some people that are very, very good at fuel efficiency, especially with the wheels, and will no stop races. I've seen that happen a couple of times so far, but in the FIA races, they had some crazy tire degradation numbers. reeling him in, but I don't think I've got... Oh, that's bad. Oh, I definitely would have got a track cut manually for that. Okay. Go on, don't hit that wall. True enough, but I've always tried to keep her as clean as I can. I actually feel guilty for half the times I, you know, come close to doing a track cut, but in the FIA racing some of the penalties are mentally insane. What do you think is you know, pushing the borders of track limits? Oh, I can't believe I just did that. You know, some of the track limits, the penalties on the track limits are mentally insane. You've got all wheels, you know, on the pavement, not going across the line, and you'll still get a penalty. And then, of course, there are the gamers out there that will find and exploit track limits or the limitations of the penalties themselves and take advantage of that. But fortunately, especially for the FIA racing, there's apparently racing stewards that will scrutineer the racing. So if it's brought to their attention, they will look at it and can and will ban people from the FIA events. Oops, what am I doing? Wrong button. Yeah, most definitely. I've lodged a complaint against one player. He was taking out people left, right, and center. But, you know, and they banned him. So, you know, the system works, fortunately. Alrighty, Mr. Monty. Well, you know, thanks for, you know, letting me ramble on here on the microphone. You know, it was good to see you. Now that I know that somebody's actually interested in watching, I will continue to broadcast here on YouTube. You know, if you would like, and I'll mention it to the boys as well. Maybe we can get multiple angles from other guys, because it didn't seem to be too bad. Hopefully for leg wise and the like. Perfect. I'll let the boys know. That way we can get multiple people on the stream at the same time. either way, I hope you have a very good night, and we shall chat at you soon. Cheers, Monty. Excellent, excellent. Yes, you know, GT Planet will always be a good gathering spot for us. But yes, please do drop by anytime. Let's save this up and have a good one. Cheers.